Hello, this is Zam and I hope you're doing well. This page is inspired by street and where I live in Cebu, Philippines. I'll be showing you my process of drawing a manga page, starting with sketching the backgrounds. When I do backgrounds, I make the main shapes outline darker to make it easy to identify later on. Simple, big shapes, gradually going down to the details nooks. Looks fine. Appears to be a cramped alley streetway, as it should be. Next is to determine the placement of the characters. Alright. Like the buildings, I go with the main poses for the characters first, the main shape for the details, foundations, then gradually detail it. I turn the undersketch blue. It makes the black pencil or ink show better without having to lower the opacity of the undersketch too much. Alright, the building and the character placement looks good. Time to do the outlines. Like with the prior steps, I ink with a bigger brush for the main shapes or outlines. The thicker lines serves as a foundation for the details and the effects, making it easier to add details within. It also serves visual emphasis on the main shapes of the character. I will also be adding bigger strokes of ink on certain parts that I would like to be dark or need shadows, or if it's dark, like black hair. Alright, the ink characters look like they're at home. Now let's ink their home. The backgrounds. Just like the processes before, same as usual, I start with larger brush size and just shift clicking it to create a straight line. Outlining first the main shapes of the buildings before shifting to a smaller brush and doing the details. background building's done, characters inked. It looks kind of messy. To keep the characters away from the lines of the building, we will isolate them. I do this by inserting a gray opaque layer of color below the ink character's layer, but above the building layer. I'm isolating them this way because I don't want to delete the lines on the buildings. Well, I've spent some time outlining them, and I may use them again in the future with different characters. After I finish the gray sandwich layer, I make it white by adding a new layer on top of it, clipping the layer below and filling it with white. Alright, it looks better now, but I think I can add more, like black fills for direct shadows. Alright, kinda looks decent. Since this is a manga and I honestly am a bit challenged in coloring, the next will be... Traditionally, this was tough. Screen tones were stickers. Now you stick the chosen type of tone and you need precise handling experience of X-Acto knives or Hobbit knives to make sure you cut the right corners without separating the pages. If you've noticed, I don't go too wild in adding screen tones. For me, 5 would be the maximum. 3 different screen tones would be preferable, but since there are several characters and shadows, I had to go with 5. Too much screen tones can make a page distracting, in a way. So it's just a repeat type of process. I started with toning with the lighter tones, then filled spaces of characters with tones corresponding or near to the value of their perceived color. And then I added darker tones for shadows, provides more depth to it. Alright, looking better. Since this is a manga page, I'll be adding text balloons and texture. Textures are optional, but I love adding it. I like it to look like a real scanned manga page. It looks more interesting to me in real. Nostalgic, say this. So I went to Google and looked for free black and white paper textures and placed them on top of everything, setting the layer's green, adjusting its opacity as desired. I like adding salt to taste. And the page for me is now completed. I hope you were able to learn something and had fun. If you did, a like would go a long way. If you didn't, feel free to do so. Subscribing would mean a lot as well. This was Zam. Have a great day. See you next time.